CTV News Update. A Maryland lawmaker aims to scrap the immunity defense for police officers. It's one of several police reform measures under review in Annapolis. Delegate Janelle Wilkins is sponsoring the Police Qualified Immunity and Accountability Act. The legislation would allow people to pursue civil or criminal lawsuits against officers for physical or mental harm incurred during police encounters. Wilkins says that officers have to be accountable for their actions.
We want to make sure that officers think twice because they will have the understanding and the knowledge that they can personally be held accountable as opposed to hiding behind immunity. So that's why I think this bill is so critical. I think that it will help prevent these types of police violence actions from taking place, and in circumstances that they do, that specific officer is held accountable for their actions.
The Maryland House Judiciary Committee held a hearing on the bill yesterday. The new chair of the Prince George's School Board is making serious accusations against other board members and wants to shut down board operations until an investigation is complete. That's according to Fox 5 News. Dr. Juanita Miller, who was appointed by County Executive Angela Alsobrooks just weeks ago, has already canceled one meeting. Now 7 elected members have contacted the state superintendent saying if Miller does not reverse course, they'll petition the state to have her removed. Those 7 members are scheduled to hold a press conference late this afternoon. With the stroke of a pen, Governor Larry Hogan and top Maryland legislators sign a $1 billion COVID-19 relief package into law. Under the Bipartisan Relief Act of 2021, Maryland residents who filed for Earned Income Tax Credit in 2019 can expect to receive direct stimulus checks. Low-income families will get $500, while individuals will receive $300. Also, Marylanders who have lost their jobs will not have to pay state and local income tax on their unemployment benefits. The emergency legislation will also provide tax relief for small businesses.
In less than 3 weeks, this bill made its way through both chambers with a variety of improvements and back to the governor's desk for his signature. Its passage, unanimous in the Senate and nearly unanimous in the House, demonstrates the importance and urgency of this issue. This is what the power of Maryland government can do when we focus on solving problems.
The law will also provide $100 million in grants to businesses and nonprofit organizations. The Maryland Comptroller's Office is responsible for rolling out the Relief Act payments. At a press conference today, Comptroller Peter Franchot and state officials explained the agency's plans for getting the payments out. Franchot says that 98% of payments will be processed by February 19th. But while he welcomed the much-needed relief, Franchot says it doesn't go far enough.
And while I applaud the House of Delegates and the Senate for improving the governor's bill, I feel very strongly that it falls far, far short of the goal of genuine relief. We're the richest state in the richest country in the history of the world, and we have the means in Maryland and the obligation, I believe, to do more for our fellow Marylanders and small businesses that are struggling to keep their heads above water.
Franchot says more than 6,500 people cannot receive their stimulus check until they provide an updated address or bank account. For more information on the 2021 Relief Act, you can call 1-833-345-0787. 30 Marylanders have died of COVID-19 in the last 24 hours. That, according to the state health department. Maryland COVID fatalities now stand at more than 7,400. More than 500 people have tested positive for the deadly virus in the last day. Meantime, in Prince George's County, there are more than 71,000 confirmed cases. Maryland Congressman Anthony Brown continues his push for a FEMA-run vaccination clinic in Prince George's. He says COVID vaccine distribution has been inequitable, especially for communities of color. The lawmaker says the state has a fragmented distribution plan, so the federal emergency agencies should step in to help. Addressing the county council this morning, Brown said that the state vaccine site at Six Flags is running well, but, quote, "We have to do better." And you are watching CTV News. I'm Patricia Vallone. We'll be back in just a moment.
I am what child hunger looks like in America. I am a 9-year-old boy who hopes a friend invites me to a sleepover so I can have dinner. I am a 15-year-old girl who goes for walks during lunch so my friends won't know I don't have anything to eat. I am a 13-year-old boy who gets into fights at school just because I'm hungry. I was created by artificial intelligence from faces of the 1 in 7 American children who struggle with hunger. Kids you pass by every day but never knew they were hungry.
Feeding America, 200 food banks strong.
There was a time in my life where I was extremely homesick. I decided that I needed a pet. When I first saw a turtle, my heart was full. He jumped up and kissed me and jumped right into my arms. I immediately went up to the volunteers at the shelter and said, I want him. He's got to come home with me. Not anything but lonely. Every day with Turtle is a perfect day and keeps me company when I'm doing schoolwork. I like it when he jumps up on the table too. He is a veggie thief. He's an incredible companion and my best friend. Can't say that I've met anybody that doesn't love him too. When I adopted Turtle, I discovered all the things that make him unique. He's a little bit of a lot of things, but mostly he's all pure love.
Welcome back. Well, in an effort to help Americans struggling financially, President Biden is extending the ban on housing foreclosures to June 30th. The moratorium on foreclosures of federally guaranteed mortgages was set to expire on March 31st. The new policy does not address the moratorium on the eviction of tenants. That ban is set to expire at the end of March. Maryland Senator Chris Van Hollen hosted a virtual roundtable to discuss the state's housing crisis brought on by COVID-19 and various efforts to address it. State lawmakers and advocacy groups took part in the discussion. Participants weighed in on programs such as the CARES Act that have helped people stay in their homes. The senator talked about the $900 billion stimulus package passed in December.
And now President Biden wants to build on that and expand it. And that's what the American Rescue Plan is all about, a $1.9 trillion proposal that would provide another $25 billion for the rental assistance program, and also extend many of the other important income support programs.
Van Hollen says the home mortgage delinquency rate in Maryland is nearly 9%. And for renters, he says some 214,000 families are under the threat of eviction. Well, the MBA is warning residents of a Real ID text messaging scam that's circulating. If you receive a text marked Maryland M.Urgent with a link, delete the text and do not click on the link. It leads to a fake page that looks like an official government site. It was not sent by any agency associated with the Maryland Department of Transportation. If you did open and click the link, you can go to the Maryland Attorney General's ID theft page at the bottom of your screen to look for help. A state coalition comes together in support of legislation that would ensure localities can pass laws regarding tobacco products. If passed, the Maryland Local Tobacco Control Bill would overturn a 2013 ruling that stripped local governments of power to regulate tobacco use. The coalition includes the American Heart Association and the Maryland NAACP.
We have a history of families not being in communities, so you're not asking for quality schools. You don't have the families asking for healthy grocery stores. All of these pieces that are missing in communities add up to what we're talking about with these designs that Big Tobacco has on communities, because all they want is addicted people that they can sell cigarette tobacco products to. So we're here to sound the alarm on that and to be very serious about it, and add to the conversation about what they're calling JEDI, justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion, And let's not just not talk about JEDI as a talking point, but the resources that go to it as well. And one resource is to have an empowered community so that they can articulate and create a narrative about what is needed in their neighborhoods.
And the bill is cross-filed in both chambers. HB 1011 will be heard before the House Economic Matters Committee next Wednesday, February 24th at 1:30 p.m. Maryland State Police are investigating a number of fatal hit-and-run crashes in jurisdictions across the state, including here in Prince George's. Earl Rogers Sr. was fatally struck on southbound Route 4 at Old Marlboro Pike in Forestville back in March. In a separate incident, 60-year-old Henry Washington was fatally struck in College Park back in February of last year. Also, a multi-car crash that was in Howard County sent several people to the hospital back in September. Anyone with information on the incidents is asked to contact state police. A women's rights group from Maryland is urging the U.S. Supreme Court to strike down a federal requirement that only men register for the military draft. The Women's Law Center of Maryland has joined a high court brief stating that the men-only mandate is archaic and based on stereotypes. The group also contends that the selective service system treats women as second-class citizens and that it's unconstitutional. The Maryland Center joins the National Organization for Women in support of a men's rights group that has requested the High Court review the requirement. Bowie State University is making history with its new stop-motion animation program, the first for an HBCU. BSU is teaming with Leica, a Golden Globe-winning animation studio best known for making movies such as Coraline. This new collaboration will enhance the school's current animation program and create a career pipeline for students. Leica will also fund upgrades to the university's green screen studio. BSU says this partnership will create opportunities for diversity in the animation industry.
You don't have a lot of people of color, women, minorities, underrepresented voices when it comes to images in animation and film. And so this is going to be a game changer for our students and hopefully for the industry. And we're really reaching out to other studios and companies to see if we can see more diversity in images. BSU
says it plans for the new stop motion animation to be available next spring. Well, he is one of the NFL's best players, and he is being honored by his hometown. Chase Young of the Washington football team received the NFL's top rookie defensive player award this year. So this morning, the county council honored him with a proclamation. Lawmakers applauded him for being a good representative of his family and community. Young grew up in Prince George's and played at DeMatha High School in Hyattsville. Well, let's get a quick check now on your 3-day weather forecast. Tonight, mostly clear with a low around 25 degrees. Wednesday, mostly sunny with a high around 35, a low of 28. Thursday, the wintry stuff is back. It'll be a mix throughout the day with a high near 37 and a low around 30. And Friday, that rain and sleet will likely continue in the morning. Daytime temps reach a high near 42 and a low of 22. Now for your community calendar, the Financial Empowerment Center at Prince George's Community College is inviting you to check out its virtual empowerment hour. The weekly series provides info on money management, banking basics, rebuilding credit, and much more. You can join the discussion tomorrow, February 17th, about Black business success from 1 to 3 p.m. Special guests are including representatives from the Prince George's African American Museum and Cultural Center. You can register today at pgcc.org. And that wraps up our newscast. Join us again tomorrow, same time, same place. Have a great night.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.